Hello everyone. Yesterday I made a video talking about some of the concerns I have with the new aggressive direction that the developers seem to want to take the Tekken franchise in with Tekken 8. The word on everybody's lips right now is heat. As you probably know by now, you can be in heat in Tekken 8, which is pretty funny. I've looked up some textbook definitions of being in heat, and my favorite one I've found so far is in heat, willing and prepared to have sex, especially in bitches, which is pretty great and kind of perfect. But it's the new aggressive system that people are a little bit worried about. Apparently they wanted to show more of it at the Game Awards, but they couldn't because they didn't have enough time. So we had a sit down and a bit more information and some longer clips at the Tekken World Tour. I've been looking through them. We actually get a lot of information just looking at these 3 clips. And I'm thinking now that heat could actually be a pretty cool idea and could work out to be fine in this game. You know, you can make the game a bit more aggressive. Doesn't mean that it has to be all aggression all the time and that you won't be able to block or move or parry as usual. I think it's going to come down mainly to how available the feature is, how often can you actually go into heat and so on. But I wanted to look at this video that somebody compiled on Reddit. 3 examples of characters using heat, and I want to talk a bit about what we can learn about the feature looking at this. So let's start with this clip of Jack using heat against King right here. So I think first of all, when you activate heat, what happens is that there's this sort of slowdown, there's a camera effect, and the screen goes kind of warped and sort of black or blackish blue. That's how we know that somebody has activated heat. And it seems to happen when you perform a move, either when it hits or gets blocked, you can activate heat after that. So, as you can tell right there, that's the effect I talked about. This move here as Jack's back 2. This move can be charged in the game right now, but this is an uncharged version. He's just pressing back 2. It's one of like the best main mids that Jack uses. It's a great move, but it doesn't have this slowdown effect right now. So this is Jack hitting with a back 2 and then using some sort of button, I assume, to activate heat, right? And then what happens right after that is he connects with the move and he does this dash forward. But if you look at Jack right now, you can tell that there's this white steam sort of coming off the character. And I think this is the visual indication that you have when your character is in the heat state. So right now, Jack is willing and able and prepared to have sex, right? And that's indicated by the fact that he has this white gas coming out of him. So this is how you know that he's in heat, but he's not going to stay in that state forever. And it seems that he's actually able to spend it kind of like a token by using an in heat enhanced move. Kind of like how Claudio uses Starburst in the game right now. So you can tell he runs in. I'm going to assume that even though King kind of looks like he may be able to recover and block here, the follow-up is actually guaranteed right here. Let's look at the move that Jack does. So what you can tell right here is Jack does his forward 2, which is currently his 10-frame block punisher and fastest move. It's like a good move that he has. It currently has no extensions whatsoever. You do that palm thrust, that's the end of the move. But when he does the extension here, there's a red and then a purple fire effect around Jack. And then he's able to call down this orbital missile or railgun or rocket or whatever. And as that connects, right there you can see that there's a white glow. And now Jack has no steam coming off him anymore. So it looks as though you hit with a move, you activate heat, and then you either probably have the option of staying in heat. It enables you to do these really fast sort of forward dashes or runs. And then if you want to, you can spend your token heat on empowering a heat move. And it's probably going to be the case that you can only activate heat off of certain moves, and then you have a few moves that can use this sort of heat activation and give yourself, you know, extra properties at the end as well. I don't think it's going to be something that you can do off of like a bunch of moves, kind of like EX cancels for 2D characters right now. But that's kind of speculation. I think it's going to be pretty specific and kind of similar to the way rage drives are right now. Something that they said in this interview is that this is completely separate from rage mechanics, so it's not tied to rage. I think it might be a hint that rage drives are not in the game anymore. We know that rage arts are, and we've seen a couple so far. In this video right here, they showed Paul's rage art. So rage is still there, but you can have like a lot of HP and not be in rage and still use heat. And if we had that and rage drives and rage arts, I think that would be a very crowded sort of system. So my guess is that this is a a hint that rage drives are gone now. So that's the first example that we looked at, and then we're going to look at Lars using heat right here. So first of all, at the very start of this Lars clip, you can't actually tell if he has the gas coming off of him when he does this slam move. It's already there from the first frame, and I've said this before, I would love it for Namco to give us a couple of frames before something starts happening and after, so that we can get a better sense of the starting position, you know, the frame data, at least from like a visual perspective only. But he's already in heat when he's doing this move, but you can tell that the sort of blue and black slowdown seems to be happening right here at the beginning, right there. So I'm assuming that this is Lars activating heat off of this slam move. An interesting thing is that this move that Lars performs here is not a move that he currently has. And Lars is a character that is like really, really weak in the game right now. He was great in Tag 2. He sucked for the entire life of Tekken 7. Maybe this new cool move here is like Lars actually getting something super good. Maybe it's plus on block. Maybe it's a counter hit move. Who knows? You know, you can only speculate, but it's going to be a heat move, right? So he activates heat. But as you can tell, after he hits with the heat move, he doesn't do the steamy run up right away. He actually does it Lars's forward 3, which is that move right there. He has it right now. It's not a move that you currently use. You only see this move when people are trying to perform an instant while running 3 and failing to do it properly, and you get this move by mistake. So it's basically like a scrub move right now, but here it's going to be good, and it's great, I think, to take cool moves that characters have that currently don't do anything and turn them into useful moves in the new game, right? So he does the heat activation, then does a different move that hits, and then he does the steamy run up, right? And then he's out of heat, so I'm guessing what he's actually doing there is spending his heat token, so to speak, on empowering the actual forward 3, right? And now Lars is out of heat. We can see he has no white steam on him, and he performs a very standard Lars combo that he can do right now. He does dynamic 1, slides into silent, and ends with silent 1. I think this might be a hint that we're working with a system for combos now in this game that doesn't use spin. Maybe they just wanted to show a very short combo here and didn't want to put like a spin or a bound move in it. But it would be a pretty cool balancing like factor to the heat system if you can use heat to sort of soft reset your combo, like a bound or a spin right now, but you don't have the actual bound or spin moves to lengthen combos, which would mean that the average combo out of heat will be shorter and do less damage, but you can use heat to make the combos longer, and you can also use heat to turn more moves into launchers. So more combos probably overall, but shorter combos that are over faster. I think that might actually be a really good idea. So he ends the combo right there. Now we have the final example right here. So Jin is going to do, I think this is his 1+2. It's a block punisher that he has right now. You see the black and blue slow down distortion, which means that a character has activated heat, right? And he does the steamy run up, and as you can tell, he's got the steam coming off of him right now, so he hasn't spent his heat token. He's still in heat. He's prepared and able and excited to procreate, you know. And he does another move that he empowers into a run. He's still in heat right here, so he officially hasn't gotten rid of his heat yet. He does a move that's a high. Kazuya ducks it, and Kazuya is able to hit him with a launcher in turn right here and do damage back to him. So as you can tell right here, there are like situations where you can actually remain in heat and keep attacking. So presumably if you activate heat off of something, as long as you don't get rid of it by spending it on some sort of empowered move, you can like stay in heat and maybe even do multiple of these steamy forward runs. Now if I had to speculate, because you know, when you see how things are going to look in Tekken, you can sort of understand how they're going to be programmed in terms of inputs. maybe, you know, you press some sort of shoulder button or extra button to activate heat when a move connects, and then if you tap forward or hold forward or maybe double forward or something like that, you go into this steamy run cancel straight after, and then you're going to have a couple of moves in your move list that become more powerful when you have heat, but you spend the token and then you exit heat after using it. So for example, in this Jack scenario that we looked at first, it looks as though after the back 2 heat into steamy run, forward 2 is guaranteed, and if you empower it using heat and do this slam and then the missile follow-up, the whole thing is a combo and it's guaranteed, turning it into something really, really powerful. And it's going to be interesting to see how this is balanced in terms of what would happen if Jack did not hit with that move but got blocked instead. Would the opponent just be in a bunch of blocks then, and then maybe you get a mix-up? I think if that's the case, what this is going to do for Tekken balancing overall is it's going to make characters that have an inherently powerful low-mid mix-up very, very strong, right? Because you can activate heat whether you get a hit or you get blocked. You run in, you have that advantage. It's kind of like a wall bounce or a wall, whatever it's called, new tactics. It's new tactics without the pushback, and if you have a really strong, scary mix-up right there, you know, some reasonably safe but powerful lows and maybe some, you know, pretty good launchers, you can mix that right away. But if your character really struggles for good low-mid mix-ups, I think they're going to struggle more in this system, but then maybe you can balance them out by giving them better moves to enter heat and better token moves to spend the heat on. So it actually is a system that I think could be very well balanced depending on how it's implemented, depending on how you go into every single character and like decide how to implement it, what moves should have this property and what you should get for using it. And I'm less worried about the direction the game is taking after seeing this than I was yesterday. But then again, we still know very little about this. It's very early. We also heard that the game will officially have a beta. So I think now that I've been pretty nice about your game for almost an entire video, Namco, could I please have beta access when it happens? Because I know you're going to send beta access to like the real main man, because that's how you're going to get all the Mishima players or whatever and errors for the stoners. But what are you going to do about selling the game to like foot fetishist weebs who are folding their katanas and looking at Josie fan art as we speak? I think I pretty much have the YouTube market cornered when it comes to that. And if you want to sell a copy to all 5 of those people, then it would be really cool if you considered giving me a beta access key as well. Despite all the grief I've given you, I'm more than, I'm in heat, I'm prepared, I'm moist, my loins are ready and swollen, and if you want me to sell out, I'd be more than happy to fucking sell this community down the river if I can play this game just a couple of days early. So, get in touch if you're interested. It looks cool though. I think this could be like absolutely fine, and it's just going to come down to how you choose to implement it on different characters. If you think Kazuya is like a main character of the game, so his moves should be like the best ones, so we're going to make them better than all the other characters, then yeah, I think that might be a problem. If you release the game and everybody's reasonably balanced, but then you release a DLC character who has heat stuff that is completely broken, or just mix-ups that are completely broken and easily accessible through heat on block, that might be an issue as well. But if this means that rage drives are gone, and if the mechanic is reasonably balanced and scarce, then I think it's fine. And you could even do a thing like maybe you build your heat up by blocking or being successfully on defense. And if that's true, it encourages good defense and then rewards you by giving you a chance at offense, which again is like an interesting design concept for this game. So I think heat is pretty cool. I can't wait for more information. More than anything, I want like more characters right now. I want to know if Miguel, Zafina, or Bob are going to be in, if Gigas is going to be in. But so far, I gotta say, Jack looks super sick, and if he's gonna have these like fucking rocket cannons or whatever and look this cool, I might have to like work on my Jack now so I can jump in and play him, because he looks like he's easily my favorite redesign in the small roster that we've seen so far. But they've also said that the roster isn't necessarily going to be tiny. It might actually be quite big on release. So who knows, maybe a couple of really cool characters that I like will be in there. Let me know if you have more information, or if this, trailer or this sit down has given you any more insights. Let me know what you think. But the main thing is Namco, if you want to give me a beta key, I'll do some noodle ads, I'll do whatever you want, I'll show my feet. I am officially in heat in terms of Tekken 8. Call me. Thank you guys, I'll see you in the next video.